Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Digital Chemical Playbook, the podcast where science and software come together and where lab coats meet the code. Today, I have the chance to be here in the wonderful studio in Barcelona with Pere. Pere, he is the CTO of a company called KosmetikOn. Today, Pere will discuss and talk about digital transformation in the cosmetic industry, and we're going to have a chance also to discuss about trends, about what is moving things inside our industry in over those days. Hello, Pere. How are you?
Hello, Florian. I'm good. Thanks. Thanks a lot for having me here in this podcast.
How is doing everything? Summer is coming around, right?
Yes. It's very warm here in Barcelona, but we're doing great.
I'm very happy that we have that chance to talk together today. We've been discussing for a couple of months now. I know that you've been very busy traveling across Spain and beyond. How is doing everything today?
Good. Yes. Actually, we are trying to. So, KosmetikOn, we are a Spanish. We're originally from Spain. Now we are based in Andorra, but it's a Spanish software company that is focused in the cosmetics R&D sector. And this year we've been trying to expand our exposure. So this is why we've been going to some trade shows in Europe and in the US.
So that's why we met, right, in Amsterdam for in cosmetics,
yeah, that's
right?
true. I was going to your stand and we met with Jaume.
Yeah, true.
And yes, thanks a lot for that.
Very good. So maybe before we tell our audience where we are going to, can you tell us some few words about KosmetikOn? When was the company created, and what's the root cause, let's say, of the origin of KosmetikOn?
Yes, of course. So when it was created, I was not there yet. It was actually created in 2006 by my father. So he's the president of the company. He's a cosmetic chemist by profession. And before that, he had been working in other companies doing cosmetical direction of labs. So it was in 2016 that he started developing his software solution to handle the work he had to do for labs. And this came because the tools that were there, or like that people would use, such as Excel spreadsheets or even paper, this happened because basically cosmetic chemists, they have a technical background.
Yeah.
So they can develop complex spreadsheets that help doing their work. But there are some problems that come with that, which is the transfer of knowledge, which is crucial for companies when you need to transfer knowledge to a team or someone retires. Then this knowledge usually goes with them, and this is a big problem.
And you lose the know-how inside the company, right?
Exactly. So this was one of the main reasons why a tool that was specific for that would make sense to protect the IP of a cosmetic company.
Correct. So does it mean that when your father decided to create the company back in 2006, he was suffering from the lack of technology around to helping him developing the formulations, right?
Yes. I mean, it's like, I guess he was not suffering because he didn't know better. And then you try to make something work.
Yeah.
But then he found that there was an opportunity there.
Okay, good. So yeah, he saw an opportunity, say, okay, basically the back office is a bit limited for what we are producing in the cosmetic industry, for the formulations, for R&D and so on, and he decided to jump and start the adventure of KosmetikOn. And you say, when did you join the company?
So yeah, when he started the company, I was still I think
Young
I was
boy.
10 years old, and then I never thought of working with my father. Actually, I went to study computer science.
Okay.
And I had different dreams. But then I graduated, and I did my internship. I didn't know what to do. And then he said, why don't you join me? And I thought, I was abroad studying, so I thought, okay, this is a good opportunity to come back to Barcelona. At that time, we were there. And it was a bit, I thought it was a laid-back position. Then later I discovered it was not the case. But so yes, I joined him in 2019, which was 3 years later after he started selling the software. So it took around 1 year of development for the initial version, and then in 2016 he started, and then I joined in 2019. And the idea was to start developing some machine learning. At the time, it was called machine learning,
Correct.
or we weren't sure about what term to use. Now it's clearly AI. But he had a lot of ideas in mind, such as people would struggle a lot when they would join our software, because they would spend so much time working into importing all the documents of the different raw materials.
Yes.
And then before the software could bring you any value, you had to put in a lot of time.
Correct. And data, right? And working manually on inputting the data, inputting all the information.
Yes, exactly. And this is why he was obsessed into creating a solution to import documents and then classify that into the database, so that it would save time to the user putting all this data into the system.
So does it mean that when we start and when he started working on that solution of KosmetikOn, he said, okay, let's build one single database, right, following the same metadata for everybody, where a company can store and feed their formulations?
Yes, correct. So the idea is that there's a database by KosmetikOn, which is the one that we maintain, which is the regulatory and toxicological database.
Excellent.
That was initial. Well, actually, toxicology has come now. At the time, it was only regulatory.
Okay.
So like if you have to, like the regulation in Europe, US, and then there is the specific database, which is the IP of the customer, of the client, of the cosmetic company. So this includes raw materials, the data sheets, all the documents for each raw material that a lot of times are confidential.
Yeah.
Like the supplier a lot of times doesn't give that to anyone. And then especially the formulas.
Yeah.
So all these, and at the time it was in-house in their own server. This was their data, and it belongs to them. And then you would merge our database that allows you, it's like a playground with the limits, the restrictions, and then you can formulate knowing that the product can be is good for market.
Okay. So it means that you can play around with the data, with the certifications, with the regulations, and you can use the software to potentially get the right type of ingredient, the right type of dosage, depending on the market where you want to sell the cosmetic ingredient. Is that right? Saying
yes, exactly right. And it's very useful to look at the formulas that the suppliers propose.
Correct.
Because this is a very good starting point. They usually make I don't know how it's called. It's like a formula to show the ingredient, the active ingredient that they are selling, maybe in a trade show.
Yeah, like a sample of the formulas and
that you can maybe try in the booth, and then that's a very good starting point on how to use that product. So this with your formulation knowledge, there's a lot of knowledge that is. So the cosmetic industry you cannot Google a lot of things. And this is why it's hard to penetrate or for generic providers to build a solution. There's a lot of knowledge that is built by experience. And well, with using that and then the regulatory database, basically you can formulate in a way that the knowledge can be transferred to newer generations, new teams, or even your teammates.
I think I saw a study was Gartner publishing this study saying that by within a couple of years, maybe 2 or 3 years from now, around 80% of the workforce will be actually millennials or Gen Z, right? So I think that in the industry you're working on, and we all of us positioning ourselves in the chemical industry, there is a big shift in terms of population working with us. No, I mean even us at DKSH as a distributor, we start seeing from our customers or from our suppliers that people are leaving the company, getting replaced from people from a new generation. And when it comes to the lab and to the way of making formulations, we start getting challenged on what are the tools that you're using in order to be more efficient on the way that you generate to create formulation that you can play around with ingredients. So from what you're telling us, KosmetikOn, you've been starting very early in the early days, 2006. Then you start working on the machine learning solution. So you were kind of a pioneer of the artificial intelligence in the industry. Is it fair to say so?
Well, I wouldn't call myself that.
Okay.
But there's some anecdotes where we would propose in some trade show conferences our progression in 2019, and then they would laugh at us. So sometimes when they are laughing at you, and then a couple of years later, then there's this rush on AI. I think we're in the good path, but I wouldn't call us pioneers, because I think I was doing that because I learned it in my internship, which was another sector, and in my studies. But I think it's fair to say that AI can help you solve a lot of mundane tasks. And at the time, that was our goal. And going back to your initial comment, I think so that the newer generations are coming in, not only to work, but also to spend their income. And so the speed to market has been increasing a lot. Now you have much more complex formulas, and you have to be much faster to make a product work. For example, with TikTok, you cannot be 12 months developing a product, because then the hype on that maybe trend is gone.
Okay. So actually the time frame, the circle are much shorter, right? When something becomes trendy, the brands, cosmetic brands, they have to adapt themselves much faster than they used to do before, right?
Yes, like a silly example, during the pandemic, the companies that had a spike in revenue or that didn't suffer were the ones that were doing a hydrogel. And you have to be fast to bring that. You're doing something else, and all of a sudden you're doing hydrogel. So that's one example. It's not from TikTok, but
No, but they had a great run. I mean, I think we got something similar back on that time at DKSH, where within our platform, DKSH Discover, we got such a spike of visits and requests for sampling ingredients on anything related to hydrogel, to formulate your one. And then we saw that this is really the moment, the pandemic, where I could see the difference between a good and a bad hydrogel, right? And in terms of ingredients and formulation, there was a big play on this, right?
Yeah, so it's crazy. If you're the first one, I guess you have an opportunity there. Yeah. And so going back to the people working now in cosmetic companies or joining us that are maybe younger, what we are seeing is that they are much more open to using these kind of solutions, because sometimes these more senior generations, senior profiles, they have their own tools, they have their own expertise, maybe it's integrated into their way of thinking, and they are more averse to switching to a software and instead the younger ones are much more open-minded, and this is why we have made a new product which is the successor of the one that started in 2016, which is called Labify, and the idea is let's make it fun to use this software. Let's not it doesn't have to look boring. You're in a cool industry. Let's make
it's
something.
Not because it's B2B that it has to be boring, right?
Exactly, because at the end of the day, our customers are humans, and they are.
Yeah, it's human to human in the end, right? You're just like the interface between someone looking for a formulation or ingredients, right, and some other people supplying them. Am I right?
Yes, and I think people have a lot of fun in our industry when they go to trade shows. I think the booths are impressive, and you get the attention of the people by how it looks. So that's why our interface tries to have this experience.
Can I ask you a question a bit tricky here, because you've been mentioning about the trade shows, and actually when you go to a trade show in the cosmetic industry, this is right that the booths are impressive. Usually, whether it's in Amsterdam, in Paris, in Barcelona, you have giant trade shows with different halls and many people coming from everywhere visiting the booth. So we cannot really say that this is an industry that is fully digitalized, right? I mean, I think that the main momentum is trade shows where people get to meet and get to know each other. And we can see that companies are investing a lot in terms of getting visibility on the trade shows, being the right spot, the right place, and so on. And you're a software company, right? So you're a SaaS. It means that you're a pure player, and you try to talk to decision makers from company for them to invest in a solution that is tailor-made for their industry. Do you feel a kind of a resistance of people investing on one side a lot of money in trade shows and so on, and then when they talk to you, say, okay, Pere, the solution is great, but I'm very short in budget and so on. I mean, do you think that in terms of budget allocation, we're still a bit behind other industries like retail or tourism and some others related to investment into technology?
Yeah, I think that's a great question, because from my experience this year, until now, we were only exhibiting in the Barcelona trade show, which is, are we allowed to say, Cosmetorium. Yeah. So it's a trade show in Barcelona done yearly. And this year is when we decided, let's do other trade shows. Yeah. And for a small company like ours, which, by the way, we have no external investors, it's a family business. Yeah. This represents a budget. Yeah, you have to have some budget for that. And instead, on the other side, website traffic, customer reviews, referrals on the internet. If you do it organically, like us, we've never paid a single Google ad. Okay. This only costs the development, which, by the way, for us is our own product. And it's incredible because for some shows, ourselves, we don't see the return. We spend so much and we do not see that. But I think this is because we are such a small player in those trade shows, which where big brands have huge trade shows, and this is where people go to see. And I think is different because you cannot test a new active ingredient online. No. So trade shows are perfect for that. You go, you talk to the people, and for us, we are selling software. Yeah. And you can do that either in a trade show, which may be noisy, the screen is small, or you can do it from your office remotely, or even us going to your. And then I think given we're selling different things, it may not be the same, but you'd be surprised at how good digital income traffic is qualified. Is for us. We got US customers before going there physically. So, and from other countries. But yes, I think presence physically is very important. It's very important. Because you can have a customer, but the moment you meet him, the moment you talk to him in person, then it changes everything. Yeah, it becomes different because you learn by yourself, by talking directly to the customer, as you say, trying the formulation yourself and so on. I mean, it's very easy to learn by yourself. It's much harder to learn by others or listening to to presentations or whatsoever. But you're right. I mean, I think your case represents what is the chemical industry and what is the cosmetic industry here. When we say that, even if you're a software company, we're dealing about formulations, we're dealing about trends, we're dealing about testing, about formulating, and this is an accelerator, right? That you're delivering to your customers. Yes, I agree. I think at the very end, we're all trying for the same thing. We want to help our customers to have better products with better ingredients, so that their customers, their B2C are happier and have a better quality of life. Yeah, sure. And I mean, so it means that you sell a solution that is a SaaS for basically your main user or R&D teams and laboratories, right, from companies and brands. Yes, we're building a kind of a vertical solution. Okay. By the way, we're also in fragrances. Okay. So we cover cosmetics and fragrances, and it goes from marketing, or sales, who initiate the brief. You create the brief, you present it to maybe you are a private label. Yes. You work third manufacturer. You send it to your customer or to your manager, and then once approved, it goes to R&D.
Okay.
So R&D, you develop the formula. Then there's compliance, where you make sure regulatory, toxicology, budget, everything is within limits.
Yeah.
And then you do all the tests. You can even launch a production batch from lab, a small one, to run all the stability tests or send to test the market. And then once it's good, because you can do many trials of the same formula, you have a finished formula, you send it to manufacturing, and there we as well help you. If you don't have an ERP and you want to use ours, it's more specific to the industry. You can use our ERP, or it can be connected to your ERP of choice by API.
Okay. So you're delivering a kind of a suite of services, right? That goes along the lifetime cycle of the product creation. Okay. And so once you get this introduced to the companies, my question is like, what are the main challenges actually to convince, I would say, a traditional brand or a traditional company to invest in technology?
If you're saying, let's invest into this sales technology that it will boost your sales by blah blah by 20%, they will sign it this afternoon because you can see the impact on sales, the impact on revenue.
Correct.
For us, it's a very hard and challenging task because
the life cycle for people listening to us that are a bit like outside from the cosmetic industry, I think when you get into a new cream or a new fragrance, the life cycle of the ingredient creation can be from 6 months, 1 year, even more, right? So before you start getting the result of the solution you've been selling to, it might take a long time, right?
It might take a long time, and you also need to take into account how much time will it take to introduce everything so that it can start generating
incomes,
value. Like you have to populate the software, so it's a huge time, and often decision makers, they don't see the value on that, because if you have a technician doing this work, why spend more money on a tool? If the technician, if you need this for tomorrow, I need it for tomorrow, he will eventually do it.
And it worked for the last 25 years. So if it's working for the last 25 years, why? I mean, I think the challenge is like where to find the trigger to say, okay, we've been doing something in such a way that it worked very well. Why should I invest into something else to get some other result? No.
So it's going back to what we talked initially. This 25 years is usually a professional career, and these people are now starting to eye the retirement. How is this knowledge going to transfer? So we're getting to a point where newer generations, they need to learn the formulation style of the company. They need to see the bigger picture. This is a long-term tool for success. It's not instant revenue booster. So what we've done is we've tried to make this transition time faster in the sense of, let's not make people spend even 1 minute introducing any data. And we started this in 2019 with Kai, KosmetikOn AI, with the recognition of documents and classification. But now we even have a cosmetic chemist team.
Okay.
And what they do is they take the work. They are like
specialized people working on.
Yes, it's not a service. It's not an extra service. It's part of our value. It's like you have part-time people, and they come to you and they say, okay, what do you need to have in the system? And then they use our tools, AI, and then they introduce everything: raw materials, formulas, all the knowledge, operating methods, manufacturing practices. And then 1 month later, or maybe 1 week, depending on your necessity, they say, okay, you can start working. And if you have had formulas in another system, you open the computer and everything is there. It's like when you change phones and you import the thing from your older phone. So this is what we've tried to, and what we do to reduce this friction.
This
of
friction,
joining.
right? From exactly, and it's all about data management and master data management. So it means, I mean, is it fair to say that you have a solution called KAI, which is, by the way, a hybrid solution where you get chemists and people with a technical background using AI to empower their work into transferring data from an ecosystem A to an ecosystem B, right? And when it goes to the different metadata, to the different type of application, function, certification, dosage, and so on, they help company actually to transfer the data from an old setup, potentially on offline setup or on different type of software setup, to get everything fine, ready to be used into KosmetikOn.
Yeah, right? That's fair to say, and I think it makes a lot of sense to do it this way because, AI tools and especially our AI tools, I don't know about others, they need to be supervised because it's very sensitive data and it automates a lot, but you need to check, double check, is it good?
This is the pain of the hallucination, right? In AI, I mean, we can see that there is a hallucination rate that can be higher, lower, but there is still, I mean, this is something we cannot avoid, right? There's still a little space for hallucination, and the more we go, the more we see a complex hallucination that is hard to find. No? So this is why what you're saying is very interesting, getting both technical people and AI so we can
exactly. So it's as you said, supervision is very important. Yeah. And as well, I call ourselves then our number one customer and competitor. So we're the ones that know how to use the software the best. Yeah. And this is why we are very efficient at doing that instead of someone that is just starting. Mm-hmm. So we want to make their lives easier. Yeah. And this is why we try to accompany, follow them close in the beginning, but not only in the beginning, all the time.
So like here, you're talking not only about, talking about technology as a how to get to a different stage, and you bring them towards new trends, right? And you let them know based on the ingredients that they're having or the formulations they're doing, what are the best trend to follow or the future trends to get prepared for. Just can we take 2 or 3 minutes, Pere, about that to ask you, because I think you have, you say you're the CTO, so you have a technological background, but at the same time you work in an industry where you can see a lot of input and insight coming from everywhere. What are the 2-3 trends that you foresee from the cosmetic industry moving forward?
I think a very important one, at least in Europe, and I think it's coming elsewhere as well, is sustainability. Okay. And it's something that you need to, if you're trying to compute the carbon footprint, you need to compute it for the full supply chain. Yeah. This is why our integral solution makes sense to do that, because from the supplier, manufacturer, you can get that data. Then also how they send it to you, that adds up, how you treat it, blah, 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 and then until it reaches the shelf. Yeah. So sustainability is something that is very trendy, and I think it's here to stay. Yeah. So being able to compute that is very important. There's also things that are related to that, such as circular
economy,
and for the packaging as well. I think the trend, and I was seeing this today as I was coming here, is that there's a trend that people are using. Before they would have their bathroom would look like a Sephora. Yes, yes. And now they maybe use a couple products, but the formulas are much more complex. So I think that's another trend, and it's all related to sustainability and being more mindful, wasting less,
and also alternative to ingredients. Natural alternative to ingredients. I think I saw something the other day. There was a cream, face cream. It say like. It was saying that it's the same effect as natural cream, same effect as retinol. So saying like kind of like, what is the natural alternative to a chemical?
That's a very interesting comment, because so what we have is we try to by the way, now we offer a raw material database. Okay. Before it was not there, and this is also in the efforts to having less friction to join. And what we've done with this raw material database is we have a profile for each raw material. Okay. It's a multi-dimension. So you start with functions, properties, manufacturer, region, where can it be sold, or in what retailer, and then some properties such as maybe it's vegan or natural or kosher or halal.
Different claims.
And then what we've done is with this we have a dimension of raw materials.
Yeah.
Then we have a dimension of the formulation style, which is trained on your past formulas, your current brief, and your settings for user. Because this comes to make sense if you're a perfumer, not so much for cosmetics. But then what's so interesting is, okay, now I have this product, but I want one which does the same, but maybe I want it to be vegan, or maybe I want it to be natural, or from this country with this budget. And this is why this algorithm comes in very handy. It's like
bringing data to value and the industry.
Yeah. Like Spotify, you know, when you have when you can add songs to a playlist.
Yeah.
Or find similar songs. This is what we do in Labify. It looks like the same. It's like a playlist, which is a formula, and then the songs are the active ingredients.
So long story short, Labify or KosmetikOn is the Spotify of ingredients, right?
I think that's the goal.
Okay. I think it's a nice way also to summarize the different value proposition of KosmetikOn and what you're doing in the industry. It's fantastic getting people with the skills that you have, the technical skills that you have, dedicating energy into transforming this industry. I mean, this is something that in our podcast we really enjoy talking with passionate people like you that are moving things forward, changing the way of working, changing the potential way that people will formulate and work in the labs in the future. We are close to reach the end of that episode, Pere. I don't know. We are today at the middle of 2025. Is there anything that we have to wish you for the rest of the year or for the future?
Well, I think it's very, it's a hard task, but I think it's very important, and I would invite everyone to do what DKSH is doing with DKSH Discovery, which is let's invest into digital transformation, because a lot of times you cannot go to a trade show, and I think the future is to interconnect everything better, and it's a hard thing to do, but it's a more transparent way of connecting this industry and making better solutions. So coming from a software provider, that's what I would invite everyone to do.
That's great, because you're here to connect the dots, right? And to make sure that this works as an ecosystem from a supplier standpoint, from a manufacturer, from a distributor, a customer, or other software. I think it's a great regards on another aspect of the digital transformation. I think that from what you say, we see that we have to start small, right? Focus on the different tools that make life easier or make work easier. What you're saying is you have been screening the different functions in the industry to see how can we make their life easier. So then we can, based on that pain, think about a solution, think about a value proposition that will make sure that this tool, this tool is the Spotify of ingredients. This tool will simplify my job. I think it's a very interesting talk, the one we just got together, Pere. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you for organizing this. It's been great.
Thank you very much for receiving us in this great room in Barcelona. For everybody who's been listening and reaching the end of that episode, thank you so much for joining the Digital Chemical Playbook. We really look forward to sharing with you that full episode and other to come. Please subscribe to our different channels, whether in Spotify, but also Apple Music and other channels. You can find us in video on YouTube. If you have any question about KosmetikOn, I think we can find you on LinkedIn and in all the good trade shows of the chemical and of the cosmetic industry. So thank you so much. Have a wonderful summer, and let's stay in touch soon. Thank you very much. Bye.